AM 42, 2nd November 13, 2022.
Can I know the location of your emergency?
Something is happening. Something's happening in our house. We don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Okay. And is it a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right?
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White, so we're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address, 1122 King Road.
And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and I saw some man in their house last night. Yeah.
And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, let me go check. No, we have to. She's not waking up.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and how old is she?
She's 20.
20, you said?
Yeah, 20 years old.
Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people.
Hey, sorry, they just gave me the phone.
Is she breathing?
Hello?
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay.
They talk to them, okay? I can't talk to them, they need you to talk to them.
Hello.
Okay. I have already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Say that again? There's a police here right now.
Okay. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
You don't have to. I can see it. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, we have one.
Are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay.
Let's not panic, And I remember texting Kaylee. And seeing if she was okay. She obviously didn't ever respond. So it was in the morning.
A homicide on King Road near campus. Somebody had done something really bad.
He said, I think Ethan's dead. And then we walked out into the courtyard and somebody said that Xana was dead.
My niece said something bad has happened to Kaylee. So then I started calling Maddie.
At this point, we didn't have any answers. We didn't know anything.
Sunday around We're watching football.
On Ish, and we were
Like
watching
every
football.
family, there are a lot of families on Central.
And then our son was here. Everybody was home, except for she was down at her room.
We gather.
And my niece called me, and she was freaking out. And she said, Christine, have you talked to Kaylee? And I said, yesterday, like last night. And she said, something bad happened. She was just bawling. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, I think Kaylee's dead. And I said, well, what do you mean? And
All our stomachs just dropped.
she said, there was somebody just called me and they live down there. She said there was a party last night. And Kaylee, somebody went in and shot the party at the kid's shop. And I was like, what? And I just threw my phone. And I started calling Maddie, and Maddie wouldn't answer. I said, no, this can't be, because Maddie would have called me. I said, if Kaylee was shot last night at a party, Maddie or Jack would have called me. Like, no, and I kept calling. I called Kaylee, and I was hearing voicemail. I was ringing. I turned on the TV, and I saw it was like 11:22 King Road. I said, if Kaylee was shot last night at a party, Maddie or Jack would have called me. Like, no.
Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho 4. May the victims rest in peace, condolence to their families, and may the correct justice be served. This is all my theories, my speculations. Today I'd like to discuss the 911 call. I still find it very strange that the surviving roommates did not call 911 for 8 hours or 9 hours if you go according to the first timeline, 3 to 4 a.m. Pay attention to one thing. Everyone seems to be focusing on Dylan Mortensen. I do understand she's one of the main witnesses who said that she saw a man with one bushy eyebrow, a mask. The height was 5'10", 5'11". She came face to face with the killer, but still he did not, fortunately, take her life. Everyone seems to be focusing on DM, and I can understand the reason why. But let's not forget, BF is as important as DM. In fact, BF could be more important than DM. Because let's not forget, Ann Taylor, the defense attorney for Brian Christopher Kohlberger, specifically asked for Bethany Funk. Kohlberger means that Funk has exculpatory evidence. We know that people can just say somebody has exculpatory evidence so that they get the blame away from them. But I find it kind of strange that Kohlberger never mentioned DM for a second. That makes me personally believe that Kohlberger knows BF personally or through someone. How much do we actually know about BF? What was she studying? What was she majoring in? Who were her friends? Did she have any friends in Washington Pullman? Did she have any friends that were students of Kohlberger? I personally believe that Kohlberger knew one of the surviving roommates. I won't be surprised if Kohlberger knew Showalter or Jack D or the Davids or someone there. The first time that I went across or came across Kohlberger's research, I'm a person, let's start with, I've always said that I believe that Kohlberger could be guilty or Kohlberger could be completely innocent. But I like to think rational. The police wouldn't, the FBI wouldn't just come out randomly with BK's name. There had to be some kind of connection. That's my red flag with BK. My second red flag with BK is the knife sheet. It can be planted there. He could have left it there. He could have lent it to BF. He could have lent it to DM. My question is, how did his knife sheet or his touch DNA land in that house is a question. I understand he could have touched a student who touched a student who touched maybe DM or BF, but I believe that is a bit far-fetched. I want to know, why was Koberger's phone device switched off? Come on, we are adults. We are adults. We need to think rationally. We need to not be biased. We need to think, what brought Koberger up in this mess? It's like there's, over 10,000 students in Idaho, Moscow, and there's a couple of thousands of students in WSU. How would the cops know, okay, you know what, we're going to cover up this one so that the university doesn't get blamed. So what we're going to do is let's start by searching for a weirdo. Okay, let's look like, somebody who looks like BK. Let's use him. He fits the image. He's a teacher, yeah. I don't think that's how it happened. I really don't believe. I believe either Koberger was at the wrong place at the wrong time, which the chances are slim, or Koberger had to do something with this. So I have a couple of options, theories that I always think about. What if Koberger got an offer from the Sigma Chi boys? Do you all remember Dave? Dave, who called in T-Rex show. T-Rev. Do you remember what Dave said? He said he got an offer from the Sigma Chi boys that they asked him, how can you get away with murder somebody? You'll get me, unaliving someone. For BK or for Dave to have called, what's his name? T-Rev. I compared that voices, the one with Koberger talking to the police officer, the female police officer at the traffic stop in WSU. I compared that voice to the person who so-calls himself his name Dave, the guy who called T-Rev. I compared that voice to Koberger, and it did sound similar. What if there was rumors going on in the beginning of this case that the cops were looking closely into the Sigma Chi fraternity boys and into Jack D? They wanted to know why Jack D mutilated Maddie. Those are one of the rumors that were going on. Trigger warning. It could be completely false, or there could be something in it. What if there was a rumor going around from the college itself that the police are looking at Jack D because he could have rented someone to do these crimes? Basically rented someone to maybe delete Maddie and Kaylee, but maybe Zan and Ethan wasn't part of it and they became collateral damage. That could be a possibility. What I personally believe is this had something to do with Kaylee. For this plan to have been conducted to the fullest, I believe they needed Kaylee to be there. I believe Kaylee was one of the main targets. That's why she got severe injuries. That's why she got multiple stab wounds. And now they're saying that it wasn't one knife. That clearly shows you there were more suspects at the scene, not just Koberger. So I personally believe that Koberger is a part of this. But the question is, where does he come in? Koberger couldn't have just done this by himself. Let's say he did it. He couldn't have done it by himself. Somebody inside the house, the surviving roommates, in my opinion, just my personal opinion, must have been involved. Somebody was in the inside giving lookout, and there was somebody on the outside giving lookout. Believe me. Bethany Funk could have been at the party, watching what was going on there, helping the Davids. We never know. So if someone was inside the house informing the suspects or the suspect when Xana came home, when they went to bed, who's in the toilet, who's doing what, who's sleeping, what time they went to sleep, if there's any visitors over, if there's a party over, I believe somebody was working in the inside. And I personally believe that that person was DM. In my opinion, I'll tell you why, it's just my opinion. Why did DM need to call Eric G, the private shared driver, at 10 past 2? She just texted him one message. She said, "Are you driving? Are you driving?" She obviously knows he's driving. He just drove Kaylee and Maddie home. So why did she ask that question? My question is, was that a code? Was she trying to tell him the coast is clear? Are you driving? You know, like how youngins and how even friends give each other a code, like, oh, so that people want to understand. Or just say you're sitting with the family and you and your sister have a code and you'll tell each other, okay, when mom starts on me, just text me a message, send me the code. Like, it began, or something like that. So maybe that was the code they were supposed to send each other. Like, maybe DM and BF was supposed to send Eric a code to tell him the coast is clear. So they send the code like, "Are you driving?" That means the code is clear. The coast is clear. Tell the other people the coast is clear. Because why would Kaylee and Maddie, who went and bought themselves macaroni and cheese, they were sharing the same food, why would they need to go back to the grub truck because the food sounded so delicious at 2:10 at night? I don't believe that. And if DM and what's her name, BF, were hungry and they wanted food truck food, they could have called Eric G and told him to go pick it up for them. I'm sure cab drivers do services. They do different kind of services so that they have a job to keep. So was this all a staged, pre-planned crime? Now my next question is really important. It's about Jack D. Recently I made a clip, True Crime with Dago. Without addressing me directly, I addressed one of my clips and I gave my reaction yesterday. It was about why I was so, busy with Jack D. And this is what it is. People need to understand when someone wants correct justice, which we all do, we do not decide, pick and choose who we should check their timelines and where they were. From the beginning of this case, everyone who has been following this case knows that Jack D was the last person to be ruled out. Red flag. Crime of passion, when the mayor said, he didn't mean exactly Jack D, but I automatically take it as Jack D, Jackass, Davids. There was a lot of crime of passion going on. We know that David Lodge wanted Xana for himself, allegedly. We know that Jack D was following Kaylee on Instagram, but Kaylee wasn't following him back. We know that something was said to Adam that wasn't supposed to be said that could have got the girls unalived. So, True Crime with Dago, when I was asking specifically about Jack D, you were wondering where I got my research from or where I got the information from. It was from Chronicles of Olivia A's interview. First interview with Kaylee Congalvis' mother and sister and father. It was Chrissy G, Kaylee's mother, who said clearly, she said the next day, a niece of mine called me and she said, Chrissy, have you spoken to Kaylee? And I said, why? I spoke to her last night, yesterday. And she said, Kaylee's dead. So she said, Kaylee's dead? How could she be dead? And she said, I don't know. I heard there was a party and Kaylee got shot last night. Then the mother says, yeah, but if Kaylee got shot, Maddie would have told me. Let's call Maddie. And she said there was no answer. Then she said, if Kaylee was shot, Maddie or Jack D would have called and told me. Then she said she called Jack D. It kept on ringing, no answer. Now, Jack D, if you were sleeping 2:52 when the last call was made from Maddie's phone to you allegedly, if you were sleeping and missed 10 calls between 2:24 a.m. to 2:52 a.m., if you missed 10 calls, that was, 50 minutes after you left the corner club? Then what is your excuse for not picking up for Christy, Kaylee's mother, next day? She found out that from her niece after 1 o'clock. The police knocked at Kaylee's mother's door at 4:30 to give them the message that 4 people have been brutally unalived. May they rest in peace. So Jack D, you're supposed to be the neighbor. Were you at work? How come you didn't hear all the buzz that was going on? Ambulances, you know the sirens. You know how loud that is. What about the police cars? Didn't that disturb you? You'd have literally heard it from your room. What about the word around town? Like I played Ever saying, I thought don't panic. It was 10 a.m. I thought don't panic. This could be an accident. And then I called Kaylee's phone. It kept on ringing. And then she bursted in tears and she said that was 10 a.m. So everybody knew about this crime before 10 a.m. But Jack D did not call Kaylee's mother. He did not call Maddie's mother. He's supposed to be family friends with them. We could see the look Kaylee's father, Steve, gave Jack D at the memorial. Guess what? Jack D was not even allowed to say a word in the memorial. And he was supposed to be dating Kaylee on and off. And now Steve and Christy wants us to believe they were going to have children. Yes, whatever the future, whatever stars lie in the future, whatever faith brings will happen. But we don't know exactly what was between Kaylee and Maddie, Kaylee and Jack D. I personally believe if Jack D and Kaylee still had love for each other, and if they were still going to continue dating and all, I don't think he would be following Kaylee on Instagram and she wouldn't be following him. I just see things that are questionable. I'm not saying Jack D is involved. I'm just saying I have a lot of questions for him. Not only him, for Jack Showalter, for the Davids. And it's not only me, it's half of the public. We're hearing that Kaylee got multiple stab wounds, and we're hearing it was multiple weapons. So what are we dealing with? Are we dealing with Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan? For somebody to be taking out different weapons and unaliving one person with it. Come on, guys. We weren't born yesterday. When you hear about multiple weapons, you know automatically the multiple suspects. I saw Dylan Mortensen, surviving roommate. My issue with DM and BF is that they didn't call the cops for 8 hours. My issue with DM and BF is that they passed. DM ran down from her room to BF's room, and she is trying to tell us that she saw Xana lying on the floor with her legs towards the door and her head towards the wall, but yet DM did not find any concern. Xana, like she said, DM said herself, oh, I thought she was drunk. What if she choked on her own vomit? What if something was blocking her air pipe? What if something happened to Xana that Xana needed 911? DM is not a 5-year-old child. DM is an adult. And DM ran down to BF's room, and BF is not a child, she's an adult too. I'm sure she told BF, guess what? I saw Xana on the floor. Isn't BF supposed to say, let's call 911? This could be serious. What was the noises we're hearing upstairs? Or they're expecting us to believe that there was no noises they heard. What is strange is what was leaked from the grand jury, that the surviving roommates were texting each other, has finally come out. What is hidden in the dark shall always come to the light. The truth is seeking the light, and it's coming. The truth is coming out bit by bit, and no matter how much they try to toss it upside down like a pancake, try and straighten it, try and lay it out, try and presentate it well to us, the fact still remains. Nobody called 911 for 8 hours. Red flag. Eric G. The text message he received from DM, I personally believe that was a secret code. The coast was clear, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. Have a lovely day.